1. Introduction. RAWSEP View. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only. For home building and furniture building. For just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable. Wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lungs, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the eco-design wood stove, and international convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View. Purple air. PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.
Hi, my name is Lily. Andrew gave you the intro to residents against wood smoke emission particulates and their concern for air pollution from indoor residential wood burning. Residents against wood smoke emission particulates, or RAWSEP, would like every near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose wood smoke enters their yards and sickens the near neighbors to have a purple air PM 2.5 monitor hanging from the eaves of their home to measure the level of PM 2.5 entering their yards. That measurement of air pollution should be used as evidence of unnecessary air pollution, and each indoor residential wood burner should be shut down based on that evidence, one indoor residential wood burner at a time if necessary. The presentation by Andrew ended at 2 minutes 5 seconds. The same presentation by Emma starts at 2 minutes 3 seconds before the end of this podcast. So I am Lily, your timekeeper, and you can start the next podcast at 2 minutes 5 seconds in if you would not like to see the presentation by Andrew a second time. This presentation by me, Lily, ends at 5 minutes in. What you will see in the main content of this RAWSEP podcast will be news about air pollution from indoor residential wood burning and how that air pollution is being combated by ordinary people just like you who are unfortunately near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners at this time. There will also be news about unnecessary and highly polluting use of wood as fuel in industrial wood burners and preventable air pollution from wood burning wildfires. There will also be news about air pollution from PM 2.5 from gas-powered cars. There will also be news about airborne diseases which are also preventable with vaccines such as COVID-19 and measles and whooping cough, to name just a few. In 2025, residents against wood smoke emission particulates is also concerned with combating the Trump destruction of government funding for programs which protect human health through the Department of Health and Human Services, and Trump destruction of programs which fund the science and medical research plan to protect human health from preventable illnesses. Protecting human health is a patriotic act, and our defense against enemies is weakened if we are not as healthy as we can be. Heat pump rebates are now offered by the federal government, distributed through the eligible United States, are available in 2025, and are the best, cleanest, and now cheapest alternative to indoor residential wood burning if that burning is actually done to purportedly save money. Wind and solar as sources of the electricity that powers heat pumps and electric cars is also cheaper than burning wood. The adverse health effects that are caused by indoor residential wood burning also come at a cost to near neighbors, both in shortening and ending their lives, and in actual hospital, clinic, and funeral costs. Instead of being compensated monetarily, near neighbors should instead be able to achieve immediate relief by stopping indoor residential wood burning in their hyper-localized neighborhoods, which relief readings from purple air PM 2.5 monitors used as evidence of air pollution will help them achieve. Welcome to news about hopeful scientific and medical achievements that will also help us achieve the goal of clean air to breathe.
Web 57DHYAFZZFLZA2, July 28, 2026 Illinois heat pump rebates, but New York information misdirection. In this webisode, 1 World, 2 United States, 3 Arizona, 4 California, 5 Colorado, 6, 7 Illinois, 10 New York. Connecticut utility bill laws signed with clearer charges and discounts up to 84% according to the Journal. Brown County Rural Electric Association offers rural customers rebates for geothermal and air source heat pumps, and New Ulm, Illinois signs utility bill laws with clearer charges and discounts up to 84%. 8 May 9 Minnesota. RAWSEP View information misdirection from the article headline, What is polluting the Hudson Valley air? Wood combustion releases fine particulate matter as well as a mixture of hazardous compounds. Farina argues that public understanding of wood smoke is roughly where awareness of secondhand cigarette smoke stood decades ago. RAWSEP View, just do not burn wood to begin with. Just put PM 2.5 monitors hyperlocal to the source of air pollution, which is indoor residential. Wood burning 11 Oregon, 12 Pennsylvania, 13 Rhode Island, 14 Washington, 15 Washington, D.C., 16 Wisconsin, 17 United Kingdom, 18 France, 19 Germany, 20 Taiwan. Main content. 1 World PM 2.5 Global particulate pollution research reflects economic capacity more than pollution burden. Nature fine particulate matter PM 2.5 particles smaller than 2.5 micrometers in aerodynamic diameter represents one of its most harmful components and remains a 2A United States PM 2.5 air pollution from wildfire smoke set records for many. Analysis shows in Y times many towns and cities recorded their highest readings of one pollutant known as PM 2.5 in 20 years. 2B United States heat pump best whole house heat pumps of 2026 per Consumer Reports courts a noisy or inefficient heat pump raises bills all year long. Consumer Reports tested heat pumps for efficiency, noise, and reliability. 2C United States Northeast Public Radio serving 7 states heat pumps on the rise. WMC heat pumps are highly efficient all-in-one heating and cooling systems. Ordinary furnaces burn fuel to produce heat. The heat pumps move existing heat. 2D United States PM 2.5 How particulate matter from wildfire smoke impacts our health. Sierra Club particulate matter PM 2.5 was bright red, measuring over 100 micrograms of PM per cubic meter. This is well above the environmental protection. 2E United States heat pump US heat pump presence nearly matches furnaces in new homes as gas heating falls to the cool down. Heating choices in newly built US homes kept shifting in 2024 as heat pumps came within a percentage point of forced air furnaces in market. 2F United States heat pump US heat pump surge beats furnaces by 32%, reaches nearly half of new homes. The cool down new data suggests that heat pumps are moving closer to the mainstream both in newly built homes and across the broader HVAC market. Yahoo Tech for homeowners, the appeal can show up in both comfort and cost. Heat pumps cover heating and cooling with a single unit, and they use energy more. 2G United States PM 2.5 wildfire sourced PM 2.5 and emergency department visits for migraine and other primary headache. JAMA network question is exposure to wildfire sourced fine particulate matter with an aerodynamic diameter of 2.5 micrometers or less. PM 2.5 associated with emergency UREC alert. About the study is exposure to wildfire sourced fine particulate matter with an aerodynamic diameter of 2.5 micrometers or less. PM 2.5 associated with emergency room visits. United States PM 2.5 wildfire PM linked to spike in headache are visits. Mirage News. 3A Arizona heat pump rebate. Arizona households have until August 1st to get rebates for swapping gas appliances for electric. Yahoo heat pump rebates. Since 2024, Efficiency Arizona has provided more than $4.7 million in rebates and generated 532,928 kilowatt hours of energy. 3B Arizona heat pump rebate. The Arizona Office of Resiliency of the Governor updates its appliance rebate program. KTAR.com. Going forward, rebates will only apply when replacing existing electric appliances and heat pumps the Hobbs administration is committed to. 4 California wood smoke navigating the dangers of worsening wildfire smoke. GovTech. Burning wood smoke is not completely risk-free, says Yifeng Zhu, an air pollution researcher at the University of California, Los Angeles. 5A Colorado heat pump rebate. Denver area homes businesses can claim new $1,500 heat pump rebate. The Cool Down XL Energy customers may also qualify for heat pump rebates of $300 to $700 per heating ton, and a 2026 bonus can raise that amount to as much as Yahoo, according to the Colorado Sun. The Denver Regional Council of Governments has launched a $1,500 Power Ahead Colorado rebate for qualifying heat pump. 5B Colorado heat pump rebate. Denver launches $1,500 heat pump rebate plus free energy advising the cool down through a new regional initiative. Property owners can get both a $1,500 rebate for a qualifying heat pump and access to free energy advising. A 5C Colorado United States heat pump interest is surging nationally. Eagle County is seeing similar momentum. Local Vale Daily Americans are making rapid progress towards clean energy and electrification, and a recent report shared that many are looking to heat pumps as Vale Daily. These rebate programs are not the only ones with the numbers. Local HVAC groups are also seeing customer interest in installing heat pumps in their 6 Connecticut heat pump rebate. How local governments can use communication to drive climate action. Yale program on climate change communication. As climate change supercharges hurricanes, heat waves, and other extreme weather, government officials must communicate with their communities about Illinois heat pump rebate. RAWSEP View. The best thing to do to stop indoor residential wood burning is to not burn wood to begin with. Offering rebates for clean energy appliances like heat pumps that work down to 40 degrees below zero and also function as air conditioners is a good start. By Illinois signs utility bill laws with clearer charges and discounts up to 84%. The cool down 6. According to the journal, Brown County Rural Electric Association offers rural customers rebates for geothermal and air source heat pumps, and new Ulm, Illinois signs utility bill laws with clearer charges and discounts up to 84%. AI overview. Governor J.B. Pritzker has signed House Bill 4456 and House Bill 5524 into law, creating a new state-backed plan to lower energy costs for low-income households and make utility bills easier to understand. Yahoo Plus One key changes in HB 4456 expanded low-income discounts. The Illinois Commerce Commission (ICC) now has stronger authority to approve utility discount programs for low-income electric and gas customers, originally created under the 2021 Climate and Equitable Jobs Act. Yahoo Plus One full bill discounts. Eligible customers will receive discounts on their entire monthly electric or gas bill, not just specific charges. Yahoo Plus One tiered system. 5 income-based tiers allow discounts from 5% to 84% of the total bill, depending on household income size and local utility costs. Yahoo Plus One eligibility. Households qualifying for the Federal Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program (LIHEAP) at or below 300% of the federal poverty level are automatically enrolled up from the previous 200% threshold. NPR Illinois Plus One. This includes individuals earning up to $47,880, families of 2 up to $64,920, and families of 4 up to $99,000. Yahoo annual renewal. LIHEAP eligibility must be renewed yearly to keep the discount. Yahoo Plus One key changes in HB 5524 billing transparency. Utilities must present monthly charges more clearly with line-by-line breakdowns showing each fee, the law authorizing it, and the amount collected. Yahoo State Oversight. The Commission on Government Forecasting and Accountability will prepare a charge-by-charge report for 2025 detailing how utility fees are funded. Yahoo why it matters. Utility bills can consume up to 20% of income in low-income communities, especially during extreme heat or cold. NPR Illinois Plus One. The new discounts provide immediate relief across the whole bill, while clearer billing helps customers understand and challenge charges. Yahoo Plus One impact. The laws combine direct financial help with consumer protections, aiming to reduce energy costs for working families and increase transparency in utility billing. Yahoo Plus One. 7. Maine wood-burning fire departments battle large wood fire in Saco. Sunday News Center. Maine.com News Center. Maine once again. The Call Division and Saco Professional firefighters are battling a stubborn woods fire off the Heath Road in North Saco. Fire officials. 8. Minnesota. Northern St. Louis County would smoke. The smoke clears, but health threats likely to return to Timber J. During smoke events, residents also should avoid creating more particles indoors by smoking or vaping, burning candles, using wood-burning appliances. 10. A New York heat pump rebate. Here are 7 powerful New York programs that could save your family thousands of dollars this year. SI LiveCom rebates and NYSERDA programs and utility bill relief and state rebate programs. Heat pump clothes dryer from participating retailers. The maximum 10. New York would smoke. Albany researcher awarded $3.9 million to study cell response to wood smoke. University at Albany, July 27, 2026. Nutrients found in yogurt and energy drinks could help protect firefighters against respiratory damage caused by wood smoke exposure. 10. New York wood burning. RAWSEP View. This article is an example of information misdirection. Just do not burn wood to begin with. Just put PM 2.5 monitors hyperlocal to the source of air pollution, which is indoor residential wood burning. Back to the article headline. What is polluting the Hudson Valley air? The River Newsroom Chronogram magazine. Wood combustion releases fine particulate matter as well as a mixture of hazardous compounds. Farina argues that public understanding of wood smoke is roughly where awareness of secondhand cigarette smoke stood decades ago. RAWSEP View. Purple air PM 2.5 monitors are still being misdirected and misused in the Hudson Valley of New York. The near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner who experienced health problems that caused her to retire early is not given relief by the small steps still being taken by the organizations in Kingston, New York. Purple air PM 2.5 monitors may be among the sensors now being used, but they are being used in public buildings rather than hanging from the eaves of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. Purple air PM 2.5 monitors need to be hyperlocal to indoor residential wood burning in order to pinpoint where the air pollution is coming from. Then, when air pollution source is pinpointed, the evidence of the monitors can and should be used to shut down the air polluting indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary. If, as LF argues, public understanding or at least wood burner awareness of secondhand smoke from wood burning is roughly where awareness stood decades ago, or indoor residential wood burners may be aware of the air pollution they are causing and the health harm they are causing, but they do not care. When the step of outlawing cigarette smoking the workplace was taken, cigarette smokers may have protested and even used the excuse that they were unaware of the adverse health effects of cigarette secondhand smoke on their fellow workers. Cigarette manufacturers and vendors certainly worked hard to keep the facts from the public, but by 1964 many studies had already taken place that showed the adverse health effects of cigarette smoking. But the first outlawing of cigarette smoking in the workplace only took place in 2006. AI overview. To understand when cigarette smoking was outlawed in workplaces, consider the following key points. The U.S. Surgeon General's report in 1964 highlighted the health risks of smoking. The first major workplace smoking ban was enacted in California in 1995. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration (OSHA) issued guidelines in 1996 recommending smoke-free workplaces. The 2006 U.S. South Supreme Court ruling allowed states to implement stricter smoking bans. Many states and cities began enacting comprehensive smoking bans in the late 2000s. The trend towards smoke-free workplaces continues to grow, with many areas adopting bans in recent years. RAWSEP View. When many now work from home, wood smoke entering the yards and infiltrating the homes of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners is like working next to a cigarette smoker in a conventional workplace. RAWSEP View. Canadian wildfire smoke incursions into the United States in June 2023 and recently in July 2026 on an even larger scale makes makes air pollution from wood smoke inescapable, misdirecting attention to other air pollution sources than wood burning. When talking about wood burning is deliberate misdirection, this article should have been more to the point and simply stated that all misdirection to talk about water pollution or candles is stalling so that the people such as ED that had for 11 years, even hearing from LF for all that time, a warped, close-minded view of wood burning can take 11 years to take any steps to actually stop indoor residential wood burning. The research studies have been there for decades that show harm to health and harm to the environment of wood burning. Continuing to locate purple air PM 2.5 monitors at public schools and libraries not hyperlocal to the source of indoor residential wood burning is misdirection of resources and should be called out for what it is. That the air polluted school LF work that was unusually close to residential wood burning was an anomaly because schools are usually not hyperlocal to indoor residential wood burning. Lucky for LF in that instance. As far as detection of source, but there is no mention here of LF getting any relief by shutdown of indoor residential wood burning in her area after 11 years of sharing information and educating the public, as well as educating scientists like ED, who should have realized much sooner since ED has a science background. Excerpts edited for brevity and clarity by residents against wood smoke emission. Particulates. Recently this July in Kingston, New York, wildfire smoke had drifted south from Canada and the upper Midwest, turning the sky a milky gray. Weather apps warned that the air quality index was elevated. Suddenly, everyone was thinking about what they were breathing. The smoke was conspicuous, but scientists and community researchers studying air quality in the Hudson Valley say the visible haze represents only one part of a much larger story. Air pollution does not always arrive as an orange sky or the smell of a distant forest fire. It can come from a wood-burning industrial plant or a neighbor's wood stove or the fire pit burning a few backyards away. The nearest official Environmental Protection Agency PM 2.5 regulatory monitors are many miles apart. RAWSEP interjects that there is vast amount of resident-owned PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of homes of neighbors nearest to indoor residential wood burners, which do not have their data downloaded as evidence of air pollution that should be used to shut down each air-polluting indoor residential wood burner one at a time if necessary to protect human health and incrementally slow climate change. Back to the article excerpt. That matters because air quality can differ substantially over relatively short distances. Basil Alderondo of Bard College's Center for Environmental Sciences and Humanities installing an air quality monitor on the Rosendale Library. The director, referred to with initials ED here, of the Bard College Environmental Community Sciences Lab, arrived at Bard College 11 years ago in 2014 and helped develop what eventually became the Bard Community Sciences Lab. Its work rests on the principle that scientific expertise should not remain sequestered within universities. Communities often recognize environmental problems long before institutions validate them. Data can give residents tools to document what they already experience and press for change. The woman who started asking questions that philosophy eventually connected ED with Kingston resident Lorraine Farina, hereafter referred to with the initials LF. The LF interest in air quality began in the elementary schools where she worked. Public buildings are required to draw in and circulate outside air, but the systems do not distinguish between clean air and smoke drifting from nearby wood burning. During the final years of her 35-year career from 2010 to 2013, LF says that smoke repeatedly entered the schools through their ventilation systems. Students experienced asthma attacks. Teachers suffered from bronchitis. LF developed serious respiratory problems herself and retired early. The experience sent her into more than a decade of research and advocacy. While serving on Kingston Conservation Advisory Council, LF began asking a basic question: if the city wanted to improve its air, how would it know whether conditions were getting better? Many of Ulster County air quality sensors are installed at libraries and other public buildings, reflecting the network mission to make neighborhood-level air quality data freely available to everyone. The answer was to begin measuring. Working with ED and city officials, LF helped establish the Kingston Air Quality Initiative and installation of a monitor on the roof of the Andy Murphy Midtown Neighborhood Center. That instrument provided regional data, but it also highlighted the limits of rooftop monitoring. Pollution is profoundly local. LF says a person exposed to smoke from a neighboring house may experience conditions entirely different from someone living several blocks away. LF, an ED, and a woman with initials DL, who is program director of the Bard College Center for Environmental Sciences and Humanities and building scientist, a woman with initials JK, and a woman community member with initials AT, went on to establish the Hudson Valley Air Quality Coalition. In 2021, the coalition created a forum where residents could raise concerns about indoor and outdoor air, find scientific resources, and advocate for monitoring and policy changes. Seeing the invisible, the work has since expanded into the Hudson Valley Community Air Network, led by the Bard College Community Sciences Lab. In June, Ulster County announced the installation of 17 new street-level sensors at libraries, town halls, and community centers. The county described itself as the first in New York to establish a community-based network of this kind. With the expansion, the network included 22 sensors across the Hudson Valley, each providing real-time readings and alerts through the Just Air platform. The sensors sit roughly 6 feet above the ground, measuring the air at breathing level rather than on rooftops. The distinction is central to the project. Regional monitors can show broad pollution events such as wildfire smoke. Street-level sensors can begin to reveal the effects local. Wood burning, their placement in public institutions is also deliberate. We didn't want community data to be controlled by private people or entities. DL says libraries, town halls, and community centers are places where people gather, learn, and make decisions. The data, she says, should remain publicly accessible. The unexpected culprit, one of the most significant and least publicly understood sources, is wood smoke. That revelation is difficult for many people to accept because wood fires occupy such a comforting place in the imagination. They evoke hearths, campsites, rural self-sufficiency, and evenings gathered with friends in the Hudson Valley. Fire pits and wood stoves fit comfortably within the region's rustic self-image. ED once shared that affection, a lifelong wood smoke aficionado. The ED initial response to warnings by LF was one of disbelief. Then ED examined the research. I was so embarrassed as a scientist. ED says people don't know to a level that is kind of ridiculous how bad the wood smoke is for us. ED no longer uses a backyard fire pit in a densely settled place, such as Kingston. ED says a recreational fire is not an entirely private choice because neighbors cannot prevent the smoke from entering their homes. Wood combustion releases fine particulate matter as well as a mixture of hazardous compounds. LF argues that public understanding of wood smoke is roughly where awareness of secondhand cigarette smoke stood decades ago. Burning is viewed as a matter of personal freedom. She says even when the pollution crosses property lines and affects people who have no way to avoid it. Bard Community Sciences Lab Manager DL installs an air quality monitor for the Poughkeepsie Regional Air Quality Station on the roof of the Adrian's Memorial Library. LF cites federal emissions inventories indicating that residential wood combustion can outweigh more familiar sources of particulate pollution in Ulster County. A 2025 peer-reviewed study led by University at Albany male environmental engineer with initials M8B measured indoor and outdoor black carbon at homes in the Capital Region and Hudson Valley, including several in Kingston and Newburgh. The researchers used comparatively low-cost instruments to conduct week-long measurements of PM 2.5 at dozens of homes between late 2021 and spring 2023 in Kingston. The researchers' source analysis identified surrounding residential wood burning as an influence during a week of winter monitoring, while also noting a possible industrial contribution from the north and northeast. This chart breaks down the air quality index AQI values and their health implications from good 0 to 50 to hazardous 300 plus. As AQI increases, so does the risk to human health. Understanding these levels helps individuals make informed decisions. Outdoor pollution enters buildings through open windows, cracks, and ventilation systems. The background of DL is in building science. During the recent wildfire smoke event, a sensor in the hallway of her building on the Bard campus registered conditions close to the outdoor reading because commercial ventilation systems continuously bring outside air inside. Staff members closed their office doors and ran portable air cleaners. The system was delivering fresh air in the technical sense, DL says, but the fresh air was polluted. DL recently began carrying a portable air monitor that measures particulate matter as she moves through the day. She wishes everyone could try one for 24 hours. DL imagines air monitor lending libraries. The idea neatly captures the ambition behind the entire community network, making an invisible environmental condition perceptible. Local and shared air quality can feel like another overwhelming problem in an era already crowded with environmental crises. ED sees a reason for hope. The unusually clear skies following the 2020 pandemic shutdowns offered a dramatic example of how rapidly human choices can alter atmospheric conditions. We can make decisions as communities to protect our air. ED says LF states the issue in a more down-to-earth way. You take 1,000 breaths an hour. LF notes with small sensors attached to civic buildings, which RAWSEP notes are called just air sensors, but are often purple air. PM 2.5 monitors. The Hudson Valley region is beginning to study something even more fundamental, the invisible landscape we enter with every breath. Related story: Bard College launches Hudson Valley Air Quality Tracker with Just Air partnership. Bard College launches Hudson Valley Air Quality Tracker with Just Air partnership June 10, 2025. 11A Oregon and Idaho wood burning campfires banned on Wallowa Whitman National Forest starting Thursday. Wallowa County Chieftain building, maintaining, attending, or using a fire campfire or stove fire. Wood burning stove equipped with a chimney at least 5 feet in length. 11B Oregon wood smoke. Central Oregon public lands move to stage 2 public use fire restrictions. Central Oregon fire information: wood pellet burning devices, commercially manufactured lanterns, and metal camp stoves used for cooking are allowed when fueled with bottled 11C Oregon. PM 2.5 Central Oregon pulmonologist offers advice about dealing with poor air quality. The source weekly: the PM 2.5 are these tiny little particulates that are small enough to get through pores in the lung and enter the bloodstream, and those can give you 11D Oregon wood smoke. Multnomah County declares state of emergency, opens cooling center. Oregon Live the county issued a wood burning ban until conditions improve, saying high heat causes smog to worsen. The county has not yet announced plans for 11E Oregon. PM 2.5 wildfire smoke health warning. Z100 Portland iHeart scientists are concerned about particulate matter that is 2.5 microns in size and smaller, known as PM 2.5. 30 PM 2.5 strung together are the 12 Pennsylvania heat pump. Pennsylvania homeowner eyes a heat pump for winter, wonders if it is worth it. Yahoo Shopping: heat pumps are significantly more energy efficient than traditional HVAC systems because they move heat rather than generate it, and they can provide 13 Rhode Island heat pump rebate as PUC weighs utility distribution rate hikes. Focus turns to heat pump users. Are they eco? RI News: the proposal is aimed at boosting heat pump adoption rates, which can be expensive to install. 14A Washington Seattle wood smoke. Jefferson County raises fire danger level to high. Wood burning and open flames prohibited. KOMO News: Jefferson County raises fire danger level to high. Wood burning and open flames prohibited by KOMO News staff. Wednesday, July 22, 2026. 14B Washington wood burning Modrite fire near Lake Roosevelt, burning over 8,800 acres so far. YouTube: www.crim.com News: local wildfire Modrite fire burning. 14C Washington wood burning Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest campfire ban goes into effect July 23rd. USDA Forest Service stage 1 fire restrictions go into effect on Thursday, July 23rd, and prohibit all wood burning, wood stove and charcoal briquette stoves, and other open. 15 Washington, D.C. wood smoke. Why America keeps choking on wildfire smoke. The Washington Post: fire needs fuel, and a century of aggressive suppression combined with too little thinning and prescribed burning has allowed deadwood and dense 16 Wisconsin wood burning. Wood smoke. The burning of wood chips determined as cause of Green Bay fire. Fox 11 News: upon arrival, crews found burned wood chip extended into the wall. A fire actively burned behind the exterior siding of the building. Crews worked to put. First responders were told there was a fire in an exterior wall with white smoke showing. 17A United Kingdom heat pump goodbye boiler. Heat pump demand soars as thousands of Brits switch to cleaner, cheaper heating. Octopus Energy inquiries about Octopus installed heat pumps jumped 330% in the first half of 2026. Number of Octopus customers ditching oil and LPG nearly triples. 17B United Kingdom Liverpool heat pump, a quasi two-stage heat pump for efficient dual temperature supply. Space heating and nature heat pumps play a critical role in delivering space heating and domestic hot water in residential buildings. However, managing these two demands. 17C United Kingdom heat pump, why government policy on air-to-air heat pumps is missing a real-world open goal. Installer online. Martin Bridges, Director of External Affairs, Worcester Bosch, takes a look at what installers need to know about air-to-air heat pumps policy. 17D United Kingdom PM 2.5 wildfires and health with the US and Canada blanketed by smoke. What are the risks? The BMJ, the EPA updated particulate matter of 2.5 micrometers diameter or smaller PM 2.5 breakpoints put the hazardous category at 225.5 micrograms per cubic meter and above. During 18 France would smoke. It felt like being in a disaster movie. Uncertainty after evacuation from the France Gironde wildfire. The Guardian, the acrid smell, which at first seemed like burning rubber, then unmistakably like what smoke was blowing on the wind from the massive wildfire in 19 Germany would burning in a German forest. Two brothers keep the ancient tradition of charcoal burning alive. Local 10 News, the inside of the mound was tightly stacked with beech wood which smolders for weeks until it has been turned into charcoal, a craft that has been. 20 Taiwan PM 2.5 development of a high-resolution PM 2.5 model in Taiwan using states integrated low-cost air nature. We aim to develop a daily 250-meter resolution fine particulate matter PM 2.5 estimation model in Taiwan by incorporating low-cost sensor data with Webisode. 57DHYAFZZFLZA2. January 11, 2026. Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cartoon 1 of 5. Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1. The current government bid for an overall cut in scientific funding to $154 billion from $198 billion would be a plunge of 22%. Cell 2. This week, the Senate Appropriations Committee released a bipartisan package of bills. Cell 3 that largely scraps the current government-planned cuts to federal science programs. Cell 4. Congress will set aside roughly $188 billion for federal research. Cartoon 2 of 5. Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1. $188 billion for federal research will only be a drop of 4%. Cell 2. This rejects the current government push to let our competitors do laps around us. Cell 3. Last year, the current government administration called for a cut in federal basic research of more than 1/3. Cell 4. The current government sought even larger cuts for the National Science Foundation, which sponsors much of the nation's basic research. Cartoon 3 of 5. Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1. The current government proposed that the National Science Foundation NSF budget be slashed to $3.9 billion. Cell 2. From $8.8 billion, a drop of 56%. Cell 3. The Senate package countered with a reduction to $8.75 billion. Cell 4, or less than 1%. Cartoon 4 of 5. Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1. The Senate package includes $24.4 billion for NASA, a 1.6% cut. Cell 2. $8.8 billion for the Environmental Protection Agency EPA, a 4% cut. Cell 3. $8.4 billion for the Department of Energy Office of Science, a 1.9% increase. Cell 4. $6.2 billion for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, roughly flat. Cartoon 5 of 5. Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1. The Senate and the House are now not far apart for negotiations on a final budget. Cell 2. The House's moves on 2026 science budgeting add up to $185 billion, which is close to the Senate figure of $188 billion. Cell 3. But this cannot undo the damage that the current government administration frenzy of budget cutting and administrative chaos. Cell 4 brought to the nation's scientific establishment.
Webisode. 57DHYAFZZFLZA2. January 11, 2025. If science funds are restored, then fund alternatives to wood burning. Cartoon 1 of 5. If science funds are restored, then fund alternatives to wood burning. Cell 1. Fund heat pumps that work down to 40 degrees below zero and also act as air conditioners. Cell 2. Fund extending a smart electric grid everywhere, including all rural areas. Cell 3. Fund wind and solar energy sources that produce electricity sent to the smart grid. Sell 4 fund batteries that store the electricity produced by wind and solar long-term for use in emergencies. Cartoon 2 of 5. If science funds are restored, then cut dirty energy that is now funded. Sell 1. Cut funds for biofuels such as wood stoves and wood burning for home heating. Sell 2. Cut funds for biofuels such as corn-based ethanol for automobile fuel. Sell 3. Cut funds for wood and other biofuels used to replace coal burning in industrial plants. Sell 4. Cut funds for fossil fuels as well as cut funds for biofuels. Cartoon 3 of 5. If science funds are restored, enact regulations that fund removal of indoor residential wood-burning appliances. Sell 1. Fund resident-owned Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors. Sell 2. Given free to any near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner. Sell 3. Whose wood-burning PM 2.5 emissions enter the yard of the near neighbor and sicken them. Sell 4. Use the data downloadable from the Purple Air map as evidence to shut down each indoor residential wood-burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary. Cartoon 4 of 5. If science funds are restored, enact regulations that make electric vehicles and public transport affordable. Sell 1. Reinstate rebates for electric vehicles. Sell 2. Fund high-speed electric transport that will be low cost to all. Sell 3. Enact fuel regulations to discourage production of gas-powered vehicles. Sell 4. Fund research that makes production of electric vehicles efficient and cost-effective. Cartoon 5 of 5. If science funds are restored, enact regulations that make home heating and transport by electric vehicle affordable. Sell 1. Do not allow subsidies for luxury electric vehicles. Sell 2. Do not allow subsidies for home heating for individuals making over a certain salary. Sell 3. Tax the rich to provide clean energy subsidies for the middle income and poor. Sell 4. Keep in mind that the Energy Department and the EPA should work to stop air pollution that harms human health as well as slow climate change.
Webisode 57DHYAFZZFLZA2 January 4, 2026. Would smoke affect the family adversely? Cartoon 1 of 2. Sell 1. When you know you are not protecting your family well enough. When you replace air filters and air purifiers every month instead of every 6 months. Just do not burn wood indoors residentially to begin with. Sell 2. When you are scared whenever someone opens a window. Just do not burn wood indoors residentially to begin with. Cartoon 2 of 2. Sell 1. It gives me no great joy to say this. Smog towers do not work. Sell 2. Carbon capture does not work. Just do not burn wood industrially in place of coal to begin with.
Red Green Fox here. The quick Red Green Fox jumped over the barriers to clean air. Red Green Fox here. Ready to sing to you the names of the 2025 major wood-burning biomass industry subsidy opponents. 1. Biofuel Watch. 2. Bulkley Valley Stewardship Coalition of British Columbia, Canada. 3. Comite Schoen Lucht, which means Beautiful Air Committee in German. 4. Dogwood Alliance. 5. Equity Group Foundation, nicknamed EGF. 6. Environmental Paper Network, nicknamed EPN. 7. Natural Resources Defense Council, nicknamed NRDC. 8. Prakaunia na Rzeczywistość Istot, which means Workshop for All Beings in Polish. 9. Rachel Carson Council. 10 Solutions for Our Climate, nicknamed SFOC.
Cat's corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. Saying the quiet part out loud. Roar. Hi, I am Tiger. Our human asked us to get up from our naps and start Cat's Corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. She gave us a list of internet allies which we will post for her here.
Hi, I am Leone. It is better for your mental fitness to go to these websites than to go to bro sites for advice. Substack letters from an American Heather Cox Richardson. Substack your local epidemiologist. The Midas Touch. The Guardian. The New York Times.
1. Introduction. RAWSEP View. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only for home building and furniture building. For just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry, and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable, wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree. But it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen, and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom. The Eco-Design Wood Stove and International Convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View. Purple air. PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.